bring it back around to what is the good of having a Socratic dialogue? What is the aim of such a conversation in the first place?
What is the telos of Socratic dialogue?
Right. Are you after something, or is it just about the
itself, yeah. Like the Socratic dialogue, we can almost consider to be the evolution of the dialectic, or the growing of spirit, you know. It's the Hegelian sort of alienation of capitalists, the one spirit. It alienates from itself, you know, and then it gets to know itself. And it's really getting to know itself, you know. When we look at the earth and we say, what is that? What is that piece of grass over there? What is that tree? What is this, you know? We should really be saying, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Whenever we're looking like in a microscope at a slide.
Yeah.
But we say, what is that? Because we're alienated.
But
we were made from that. I mean, we are that now. You know, the earth is in the earth, and now the parts of the earth are walking on itself and sitting in other parts of the earth that are constructed for it to sit in.
So the idea is when we have these dialogues, we're just helping each other to remember what we used to know but have forgotten because of our alienation.
Well, we're helping to. We're not helping. We simply are the movement of spirit coming to know itself.
Yeah.
And there's, you know, I'm not one to. I begin to speculate if I'm to say we're coming to know ourselves that we already knew but then forgot, or is it we exist and now we're becoming self-aware?
But there's
I see
that.
for the latter.
One of them seems to be this circular thing coming back. The other one is starting from and then going out.
Yeah, it's like an egg. Well, they use the metaphor of an acorn growing into an oak tree. The oak tree was always in the acorn, but it's not that the acorn was an oak tree and is now an acorn that's going to become the oak tree it already was and forgot. Yeah. No, it's an acorn that has the oak tree in it that's growing. And so it's like the Big Bang, in a word, could be considered the planting of the seed.
Right. Oh yeah, if the universe is a hologram, it was all implicit in the original point of origin.
Yeah, I mean, I find no purpose in saying if the universe is a hologram. I don't.
If then, that's sort of the deductive, logical.
I mean, how do you define hologram? That's kind of like saying.
It's funny though when you're trying to talk about the universe or something like infinity or something. You know what I'm saying? With this limited, deductive.
That's all we have.
Trying to put it in it seems like going to the ocean and get like a little bass and going, gotcha. And.
I think of it as taking a very fine chisel and making a sculpture.
Yeah. So the medium is a little more malleable and shapeable than just the ocean, per se.
It's not that I'm taking little tiny samples of a huge thing and therefore maybe getting incorrect data because my sample size is inappropriate. I think instead it's refining the resolution.
So the deductive logic is refining the resolution?
Yeah.
Okay. That's reasonable.
It's like letting
It's like taking a picture and just turning up the magnification on your magnifying glass.
Okay.
Yeah. And playing with the clarity dial.
Right, yeah. It's already there, you're just seeing it.
Yeah, and, well, no, it's already there. Okay. You want to go into this?
Let's do it. Let's do some subterranean archaeological investigation.
Okay, to say it is already there, to talk about anything meaningful in that way, the there is in your awareness, and it is an object of your awareness. Can we agree?
Yes.
It is there.
So to say, oh, when I'm learning something, I am becoming self-aware of it, but it was already there. No, it wasn't already there. The there is your awareness, and it is in your awareness now.
Right.
And there was no it.
Well, yeah. For the same, we can't make sense of nothing for the same reason. As soon as we think.
Right, and so in that way, it wasn't there, like waiting for you in like a weird, already thought of way. Like the thought's already been thought, and it's waiting for you. It's more like the chemical potential energy is there, and you can metabolize it.
Right.
But there's metabolism taking place.
Yeah.
The cards are changing hands,
The molecules actually coming in contact with one another and changing.
And it's kind of a form of creation. That's why we call it concept, conception. I'm conceiving a baby. I'm conceiving an idea because the minute you become aware of an idea, it's there. So, you know, there wasn't a there that it was in, and now it's there in my awareness. So I'm conceiving, you know, subtlety to the image, to the resolution, to the experience.
That's important, especially to respond to a sort of materialistic or reductionistic position who would say that there is no, concepts are not allowing you to create the there. They would say what you're saying is not true, that it's there, the world is there already, and we simply come to know it as best we can, right?
Yeah, and I think that's an abstraction, because where's the there they're talking about? I don't know.
They're assuming it's been there.
It's kind of like saying, you could say, you know, there's some purple weird dove that flies around that none of us can see, touch, taste, hear, or know about. We don't even know, but it's there. We're not aware of it yet.
This is
we're not aware of it yet, and if 100 years we find out that there is such a dove, people are going to go, yeah, you know, it was there. We just weren't aware of it. See, but I would argue, from the point of view of the present moment, that's reading back into time, and so we get caught as victims to that kind of thinking where we forget often when we do time thought experiments that require looking back in time, we kind of forget to look at it and calibrate our rationality for the appropriate circumstance. So in the moment, we would say, no, there is no purple dove. It's not there.
It's possible.
Well, yeah, it's a possibility, but again, there's a difference between different kinds of possibility, and that's what this wonderful essay on modal skepticism comes in. That someone just published.
I think that purple dove thing was the classic blue dragon that the atheists
that's what I was gonna
criticized the theists for. You like gave the exact argument.
They're doing the same thing. They're saying the material world is there beyond perception and experience. But how?
Yeah, I just wonder what the there is. I mean, I think for something to exist, it requires space and time. You know, duration, inhabitants.
It needs to be present.
Manifested. Like, what's it? For me, I wouldn't say, oh, this exists, but it's unmanifested. You know, even if it's an idea of something that's never been made here, it's an idea. It's manifested as an idea, which is something. It's a thing. It's a manifested thing. So I would not say ever that there's something that's unmanifested.
Well, that's when I think we can get into realms like the physiosphere, all things physical, you know, this kind of thing, biosphere. So, and then noosphere. This noosphere might be this realm where ideas and you know, the soft kind of stuff comes up, but it has this, but it rests on the shoulders of the biosphere and ultimately the physiosphere in some weird sense. But it's more complex in these more simplistic levels. Is that okay? Is that fair to use?
I think of them as different translations of the same language.
Okay. But can you go into that a little bit more?
So, like you brought up the noosphere versus the physiosphere, you said?
The molecules.
And I would say those are both different translations of the same language, or different interpretations of the same poem. I don't think they're separate arenas. I think there's one arena called my experience, and in my experience, as you are right now, you're talking about one arena, the noosphere, and one arena, the physiosphere, or whatever the word is. But in this one arena called the present moment, you're talking about both of those things. So what sphere is that?
Can we go like non-dual sphere? Like,
well, you can't.
Well, I'm asking right now, what is this sphere that we are in talking about both of these spheres? And hopefully not only talking about the two, but feeling the two and actually being, inhabiting the two at once.
That sphere that includes everything can't be thought.
Well, isn't it you?
Or us, we...
You just mean awareness?
Yeah.
That is
the light.
It's the haver of thoughts. So...
the experiencer of experience.
How is it that we're able to point to that, even though it remains completely beyond our grasp?